Cherries are among the most cherished fruits in America, known for their vibrant color, sweet tart flavor, and versatility. From fresh summer snacks to pies, jams, juices, and even cocktails, cherries find their way into countless American kitchens and food products. But what does it take to grow, harvest, and process millions of tons of these delicate fruits every year? This video takes a deep dive into the fascinating journey of cherries in the U.S. agricultural system from orchard to table, the history and significance of cherry farming in America. Cherry cultivation in the United States dates back to the 1600s, brought over by European settlers. Over the centuries, cherry farming evolved into a major agricultural industry, especially in states with the right climate. Today, the U.S. is one of the world's leading cherry producers, with millions of tons grown annually. Cherries hold not just economic value but cultural significance as well. The National Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. and the annual National Cherry Festival in Michigan are examples of the fruit's deep roots in American life. Where cherries grow best: ideal climate and regions. Cherries require a very specific climate to grow successfully: cold winters for dormancy and mild springs for blooming. Most of the U.S. cherry production is concentrated in states like Washington, Oregon, California, and Michigan. Washington leads the country in sweet cherry production, while Michigan dominates tart cherry farming. These states offer ideal soil conditions, appropriate rainfall levels, and enough chilling hours during winter, making them prime cherry growing regions. The varieties of cherries grown in the U.S. There are two primary types of cherries produced in the United States: sweet cherries and tart cherries. Sweet cherries such as Bing, Rainier, and Chelan are mostly eaten fresh and are larger with a rich, sweet flavor. Tart cherries like Montmorency and Balaton are smaller, more acidic, and mainly used in processed foods like pies, jams, and juice. Each variety has different growing seasons, requirements, and harvesting techniques, adding complexity to cherry farming. Planting and cultivation technique. Cherry trees are typically planted in early spring or fall. Farmers carefully choose rootstocks and graft them with specific cherry varieties to improve disease resistance and growth efficiency. Trees are spaced about 12 to 20 feet apart to allow room for growth and airflow, which helps prevent fungal diseases. The soil is tested and managed for proper pH levels and nutrient content. Farmers use drip irrigation systems to provide water efficiently while preventing oversaturation, which can damage the trees. Pruning is a vital aspect of cherry tree maintenance. Farmers prune trees annually to maintain their shape, encourage better fruit development, and allow sunlight to reach all parts of the tree. This meticulous process helps maximize yield and fruit quality while also minimizing the risk of disease. Flowering and pollination. The spring bloom. One of the most picturesque phases of cherry farming is the spring bloom. Trees burst into bloom with delicate white and pink flowers, attracting pollinators like bees. Successful pollination is essential for fruit development. Farmers often introduce managed honeybee hives into the orchards during the bloom period to ensure thorough pollination. Weather conditions during this time are crucial. Frost, heavy rain, or high winds can severely affect pollination success and, consequently, the final yield. Pest and disease management. Cherries are susceptible to various pests and diseases, including cherry fruit flies, aphids, powdery mildew, and bacterial canker. To combat these threats, farmers implement integrated pest management (IPM) strategies. These include crop rotation, beneficial insect introduction, biological sprays, and targeted pesticide use. Disease-resistant cultivars and improved orchard hygiene practices have also contributed to healthier and more productive cherry crops. The cherry harvest, timing and technology. Harvesting cherries is a time-sensitive and labor-intensive process. Timing is everything. Cherries do not continue to ripen after being picked, so they must be harvested at peak ripeness. Harvest season usually runs from late May to early August, depending on the region and cherry variety. Traditionally, cherries were hand-picked to avoid bruising the fruit, which remains a common practice in premium cherry orchards. However, mechanical harvesting is increasingly used to meet high demand and labor shortages. These machines gently shake the trees, causing ripe cherries to fall onto catching frames or conveyor belts. The key is to minimize fruit damage, as cherries are highly perishable. Post-harvest processing, sorting, cooling, and packaging. Immediately after harvesting, cherries must be cooled to extend shelf life. Hydrocooling and forced air cooling systems rapidly lower the fruit's temperature to slow down spoilage. The cherries are then transported to packing facilities, where they undergo sorting, grading, and quality inspection. Advanced optical sorting machines use cameras and sensors to detect size, color, ripeness, and defects, ensuring only the best cherries reach the market. After sorting, cherries are packed in various formats: clamshells, boxes, or bags, depending on the destination. Packaging is done in controlled environments to maintain freshness. Cold storage and distribution. Once packed, cherries are stored in cold rooms set at specific humidity and temperature levels. From there, they are shipped nationwide and exported globally. Cherries from the US are highly sought after in countries like Canada, China, and South Korea. The entire logistics chain from farm to supermarket must be cold and efficient to preserve cherry quality. Processing tart cherries from orchard to ingredients. Tart cherries, mainly grown in Michigan, are harvested using specialized mechanical shakers that dislodge fruit into water-filled tanks. These cherries are not meant for the fresh market. Instead, they are sent to processing plants where they are pitted, frozen, canned, or turned into juice concentrate, pie filling, or dried snacks. Processing allows tart cherries to be enjoyed year-round in a wide range of food products. Byproducts and sustainability. Cherry processing generates byproducts such as pits and skins. These are increasingly being reused in sustainable ways. Cherry pits, for instance, are used as biofuel or in exfoliating cosmetic products. The skins and pulp can be composted or turned into animal feed. Farmers are also adopting more sustainable practices, such as reducing pesticide use, implementing water conservation systems, and improving soil health through organic composting. Economic impact and job. The U.S. cherry industry contributes billions to the economy and supports thousands of jobs, from farm workers and equipment operators to processing plant employees and logistics specialists. Washington, Oregon, California, and Michigan depend heavily on cherry agriculture, with entire communities built around the seasonal cherry cycle. The ripple effect of this industry is vast, impacting everything from local businesses to international trade. Challenges in the cherry industry. Despite its success, the cherry industry faces multiple challenges. Labor shortages have increased reliance on mechanization, which is not always ideal for such delicate fruit. Climate change poses a long-term threat by altering blooming patterns and increasing the frequency of frost or drought events. Tariffs and trade barriers can also disrupt export markets. In response, farmers and industry leaders are investing in technology, research, and lobbying efforts to secure the future of American cherries. The future of cherry farming in America. The cherry industry is evolving rapidly with the help of innovation. Drones, satellite imaging, and data analytics are helping farmers monitor orchards and predict yields more accurately. Breeding programs are developing new cherry varieties that offer longer shelf life, improved disease resistance, and better taste. Consumer demand for fresh, organic, and locally grown cherries is also shaping how cherries are cultivated and marketed. Researchers are working on automated harvesting solutions that can handle delicate fruit with precision. Meanwhile, sustainability initiatives aim to make cherry farming more eco-friendly, ensuring that future generations can continue to enjoy this beloved fruit. From snowy spring blossoms to peak summer harvests, the journey of the American cherry is one of careful cultivation, advanced technology, and deep-rooted tradition. Producing millions of tons of cherries each year is no small feat. It's a highly coordinated effort that touches nearly every corner of the agricultural sector. With a focus on innovations, sustainability, and quality, the U.S. cherry industry is poised to thrive, delighting consumers around the world with every bite. Whether fresh off the tree or baked into a classic pie, cherries represent the very best of American farming, precision, passion, and perseverance.